This is News 4 at 5, watching out for you.
It was Manhattan Project radioactive waste that contaminated Coldwater Creek and caused so much concern about contamination at Jana Elementary School. Tons of that same waste was illegally dumped in the Westlake landfill decades ago. But for the first time, we now know when the cleanup on the landfill will begin. The EPA soil sampling is complete and found contamination in more places than previously known. Some were outside of that perimeter fence.
So now the EPA says removal is set to start sometime in late summer or early fall of next year. The Superfund cleanup site is near St. Charles Rock Road and 270. Radioactive waste from processing uranium during World War II was illegally dumped in the landfill in the 70s. Russell Kinsall reports as we get closer to cleanup. Russell?
Well, I spoke this afternoon with Bridgeton Mayor Terry Briggs. He told me he is pleased the EPA has completed all the testing, but this has dragged on a long time. It became a Superfund site 30 years ago. He's worried those responsible for the cost of the cleanup are going to fight about who owes what and drag things out even further.
For the first time ever, we're going to get the first real glimpse of what Westlake is.
Dawn Chapman is with a group called Just Moms STL. She's been fighting to clean up radioactive waste at Westlake landfill for years. Her group also pushed the EPA to do the type of extensive testing just completed.
We've been trying for 8 years to get them to do this. I really wish they would have done it sooner because it wouldn't have put the cleanup behind. But yeah, for the first time, we get to see just how bad this site is.
The EPA took nearly 1,000 soil samples. 452 came back positive for radioactive material, and it was found in more places than previously known. 16 locations outside the fence, and that really worries Chapman.
And I do. I look at those locations and I think, who cut the grass? Who did what there? Historically, there can be no doubt that there was exposure at Westlake.
5 of the soil samples found radioactive waste in the soil of a ditch along St. Charles Rock Road near a business parking lot. There's no fence surrounding it to protect the public. The cleanup plan is to remove 70% of the radioactivity and ship the waste out of state to an approved disposal site. That work is scheduled to begin between July and September of 2024. The EPA had to know where it was before it could dig it out, and now the focus turns to that effort.
I am thankful, no matter how hard it is to look at the data, that we know how bad this site is, because now we can work towards fixing it. And I'm very thankful that everybody's on the same page, that the Department of Energy bears a lot of responsibility.
So those responsible for the cost of the cleanup include the Energy Department, Cotter Corporation, and Republic Services, which owns Westlake Landfill. So there's been talk the EPA may hold a public meeting to talk about all of this in the coming weeks. Nothing has been scheduled yet. Russell Kinsall, News 4.
Russell, thank you.